Hey y'all, welcome to another episode of the Dietra D show. I am Dietra D. Today I'll be talking about be careful of the company you keep. Now I'm pretty sure we have all had that one person or maybe several people in our lives where we look back and say, what the hell was I doing hanging around him or her or them? Now, sometimes we're able to make it to the other side. You know, we'll regret hanging around them, and we're able to learn from it. But there have been circumstances where there have been people, unfortunately, that lost their lives because they made the mistake of thinking that someone or a group of people were their friends, and they weren't. The last time I personally made that mistake was in 2019. It was a coworker, and yes, I know we always say after the fact, coworkers are not our friends. But I was new on the job, and this lady, she was a few years older than me. At the time, I was in, I think, my late 40s. And I'm the type of person that, with me, what you see is what you get. So, we became friends, or so I thought. You know, we would go out to dinner together, talk, yada, yada, yada. And I found out that this lady was spreading rumors about me behind my back. Well, I'm the type of person where as soon as I find out that I can't trust you, that you're not a good person, I immediately break all contact with you. I act like you never existed. I stopped talking to you. I stopped accepting your phone calls, your texts. I just completely ignore you. You no longer exist. You never existed. And so after I did that, you know, she became a little crazy, weird, I don't know, whatever term you choose to use. I was in the middle of the courthouse, and I was talking to this Latino guy. And we were talking for a pretty good while, and I remember he tugged on my shoulder. He tugged on my shirt, and he was like, why is so-and-so looking at you like that? And I turned around, and I tell you, if looks could kill, the way this woman was looking at me. And so me, being sometimes the petty person that I can be, I stood there and I looked at her back. And when she got tired of me staring at her in return, you know, she finally turned and walked away. And the guy was like, what the hell was that about? I said, I have no idea. Now, one thing that always comes back to my memory, it was back in 1993. And this particular movie has always stood out in my mind. And I'm pretty sure a lot of you have probably seen it or at least heard the story. Particularly if you're a Gen X like me, you should have seen this movie. It's called A Killer Among Friends. And to make a long story short, the main character was played by Tiffany Amber Thiessen. And we all know Tiffany Amber Thiessen, very pretty girl. The girl that she played in real life was a young Latino girl. She was a teenager at the time. This movie was based on a true story. It happened in the late 80s in some town in California. She was a popular girl, and her so-called best friend was not that popular, and she was not attractive like the main girl was, and she was a single mom. They were still in high school. So the girl who was supposed to be the best friend, the father of her baby made a pass at Tiffany. And so the girl got it in her head that Tiffany was making a play for her boyfriend, which she wasn't. And so they lured her one night to this, well, it wasn't night, it was still daytime. They lured her to this little lake that the local kids would go to sometimes. And they started pushing her around, beating her up. The girl with the baby, she pulled out a pair of scissors and cut the girl's hair. And after they got through beating her up, they held her face down into the lake until she drowned, and they put a huge log on her back. You know, they killed her. Now, associating with the wrong people, that's one of the extreme consequences. Another example that I want to mention is more recent. This involved a black girl named Shanquilla Robinson. Hopefully a lot of you have heard about her. Her parents are still looking for justice. She was a young black girl in her, I think, early 20s. She went with a group of people, mostly females, and I think it was one male. Now, she was thinking that these people were her friends. The video of them savagely beating her made its way around social media. I myself saw the video, and I wish I hadn't. It just broke my heart. But I don't know what started the argument, but it got to the point where they jumped this girl, and the video was horrible. I mean, they beat her so bad. When her body was found, her neck was broken, and I think something was wrong with her back. I think they broke her back too, like her spinal cord was broken, something like that. They just really, really savagely beat this girl. And while the girls were beating her up, the guy that was there, he was recording it. Yeah, real prize, right? So after they did this, they left her there in Mexico. I forget the rest of the story, but that part I remember. And like I said, this wasn't that long ago. And her parents are still looking for justice. Her killers are still walking around free. Everybody is not your friend. You truly have to do a deep dive on people before you invite them to your home, especially if you have children. You're hanging around someone thinking that they're your friends. Meanwhile, they're seething with jealousy and are just looking for a way that they can do something to hurt you. I've known girls that have set up other girls to be raped by guys. Yes, you heard me correctly. I have known girls that have set up other girls to be raped by guys simply because they didn't like her. Who does she think she is? I'll show her. I'll fuck up her face. You know, sick things like that. Sometimes you have to get used to being alone. There's nothing wrong with being alone. I'm at the point in my life where I thoroughly enjoy my peace. I only have one person at this point in my life that I call a friend, and I am perfectly okay with that. Some of you are not happy unless you're hanging around somebody. You have to learn how to enjoy your own company. Now, I'm not saying that everyone is like that, because that's not the case. There are still some, it may not look like it, especially in 2026 with everything that's going on in the world. It may not look like it, but there are still quite a few good people walking around. You just have to be careful, because there are also a lot of treacherous people walking around. People that have no soul. People that are so full of hate and bitterness. And they can't stand seeing other people happy and thriving or attractive. There are some men that are like that. But in my personal experiences, what I've personally seen and what I've personally experienced my own self, it's usually females. You have to be careful. Everybody is not your friend. Look in the mirror and learn to get comfortable with enjoying your own company. I go out to dinner by myself a lot because I enjoy that. I'm a homebody. I enjoy being at home. I enjoy reading a good book or watching a good movie. And I would rather be alone than to invite the wrong person in my life, because it can have dire consequences. Some of you, after 5 minutes of meeting someone, you'll have them in your home. You'll have them around your kids. And I said, in my personal experiences and what I have personally seen, it has been mostly women. But it can definitely be men too. Some of you ladies will go out and meet some guy at the club or the grocery store, and you're bringing him back to your home the same night. How many women have lost their lives because they went out on a date with the wrong guy? How many women have been physically abused or sexually assaulted because they went out with the wrong guy? This message cannot be spread enough. You have to be careful. And again, learn how to enjoy your own company. I think that's all I have to say on that one. There are a lot more examples I could give, but I'd have you sitting here all morning. But yeah, I saw something on the news yesterday. Excuse me. I saw something on the news yesterday that made me want to bring this subject up. I won't even go into what it was, but yeah. It was another girl that thought someone was her friend, and it turned out they weren't. Now, luckily, this person didn't lose her life, but it came close. Anyway, food for thought. Remember, be careful. That goes for the women and the men. Everybody is not your friend. You cannot bring everyone into your home, and especially around your children. All right, that's it for today. I hope y'all have a good day. This is Dietra D, and I will talk to y'all soon. Bye-bye.